Hi, everybody. Welcome to another BionicGym Live. It is good to be able to do another one of these. I will, happy Sunday to you all. It is probably one of the last Sundays before Thanksgiving. So it's good to be doing one of these. I'm actually going to put my BionicGym on the live rather than having it on pre before I get here. So I will wait for more people to join. But in the meantime, as soon as you join, please in the comment section, let us know exactly where you are joining us from. The last time there was a lot of people from the East Coast, specifically New Jersey, which I found was very peculiar. We usually have a lot of people from California. But welcome and thank you for being here nonetheless. And please do give me a thumbs up if you can hear me okay. And also, please let us know in the comment section where you are listening to us live from. Just to let you know, we're live on Facebook, we're live on YouTube, and we're also live on Twitter today. So we're getting a little bit more familiar with all the being live on all the ecosystems rather than Facebook. This should run for about 45 minutes today to an hour. But hopefully it runs longer. If you have any specific questions, because these are for you, if you have any specific questions, feel free to put them in the comment section, and we'll be ready to answer all the questions you've got. I've got the support team live. There they are saying hello. Support team live are ready to answer the questions you may have, and also Dr. Crow or Dr. Louis Crow is also a part of the audience today. It's kind of nice that I get to do this and he's get to be the audience. We've done it on the reverse for a long time, so it's good to see you all here. With a few more people joining us now. Hi, Kimberly Obar from Virginia. Good. No, I mean nothing wrong with New Jersey, but it's good to see somebody else from Virginia today. Sherry Ray from St. Albert, Alberta in Canada, and Laisha, greetings from Mexico, and L or Ellie from Dallas. It is nice to have you all here with us today. Also, give me a thumbs up if you can hear me okay. I know that I just got one thumbs up there. I'm not sure if it's because you can hear me, but let me know if you can hear me okay from whatever platform that you are certainly listening from. But like I said, Leanne Wilson O'Connor, hi from Sydney. I don't believe that it is a very friendly time zone in Sydney right now. So thank you for joining us, especially at this hour of the day. We have an action-packed live for you guys today, but thank you for joining us. Basically, it's always a pleasure to do these live and to have you take time out of your busy day to actually see some of the things that we're going through. So I do have a lot of questions that I've kind of picked up from all around the groups and from speaking to a lot of the individuals before doing this live. So I'd like to answer those. But if you have any more questions yourself, feel free to put them here. We'll get to you. The team are ready to answer, and also, I'll try to answer them as best as I can. And also, I've got some pre questions before I got here as well. So we'll just wait a couple more minutes. But like I promised, I will put the BionicGym live on live with everybody there. I'm also in our offices in Dublin, by the way. So that's why I'm not in my home like I usually am. So I will put this live. I'll try not to move it too much. You can see the desks behind us there. So I'm putting on my BionicGym live as well. And good, it's good to have the team on the comment section already responding, just saying hi to everyone. So it's good to have you here. I'm really excited for this live, and I will begin to kind of like get into it with you guys shortly as soon as I put this on. So anybody have any questions, feel free to put them on. I will put them on the comment section and I will get to them as relatively quickly as I can. But in the meantime, my BionicGym is on. And I will also go over my heart rate monitor of choices today. I'm sure many of you will not be very surprised to know that I'll be using my very own reliable Apple Watch, and obviously a Polar H10 heart rate monitor as well. It's a chest strap, so that's kind of been my go-to for the many years. So I can't wait to show you with these guys. So this is the BionicGym. I'm mostly going to put it in make sure you can see this. I'm going to put it in its rightful there. And I heard a click, which is always good. And I'm going to connect it to the app today. And I'm going to do a live workout here with you guys. And I know there's a few people who are doing a workout as we speak. So feel free to join in and let, in the comment section, let everyone know what workout you're doing, how you find it. And then also, what you normally get from your workouts, how long you use it, that kind of thing, because everyone's different, and the more people we have using it together, somewhat the better. And please do let me know if anything changes in terms of like my hearing, if you can't hear me properly, or I'm got out of focus or whatever. I'm more than happy to to adjust to suit you. So I'm pairing on my BionicGym right now. So all the usual stuff, pretty easy to pair. I'm putting the code straight into it now, and I am certainly ready to rock. You can probably tell right now that I am slightly pulsing. So I've just started a specific workout. My favorite workout is of course Twinkle Toes. So that's the workout I normally start with. It's on the pro section, pro zones. I think that one of the things that we certainly do at BionicGym is to encourage you to use the workout that may work for you, because we have slightly different variations of workouts. There's always workouts being tested, so feel free to test whatever workout you do like. But one thing we always recommend is that you speak to your doctor before using BionicGym in case you have any medical conditions personally, and then also when you are using BionicGym, to start at the very, very minimum programs, just so you can get your body used to it. Okay. So as you can tell, I'm already pulsing. However, my heart rate hasn't gone up in any way, shape, or form, just because I kind of just started. That being said, I will show you my heart rate as I start now, because I mean, the reason we do the heart rate is because there's no way to bypass this. This is proof that we're doing real exercise. And so there's no way around this. So I will tell you what both my heart rate monitors are saying. I like to do a comparison side by side every now and again, for the most part when I do use it. So I've got the Polar H10 one right here. It is saying that my heart rate is at 90. It's saying it's at 89 beats per minute, and my phone, that's the Polar heart rate, saying it's at 91 beats per minute. And my watch is also saying it's at 91 beats per minute, as you can possibly see there. It just went down to 89. So the idea for this is I'll try to get my heart rate up as high as I can, in terms to tell you that we're doing a lot of exercise. And I'll also try to answer your questions at the same time, which is going to be rather interesting, for lack of a better way to put it. But I'm very, very happy to do so. And once again, I do want to thank you guys for being here, and also for being part of our community. I know that there's a lot of things that we learn about our product, and we learn about you guys, that we wouldn't be able to do if it wasn't for the lovely communication that we have between each other. So feel free to ask questions. In the meantime, I will turn this up a little bit so I can get my heart rate in the perhaps in my definition of for fat burning zone, so in the 120 beats per minute range, and then we can certainly take it from there. But that being said, one question that I did actually have to answer before we even got into any specific questions from anybody in the group in particular is a few people want to know the difference. So basically, BionicGym, we are a cardio exercise device. So one of the things that we do help with is obviously weight loss, because in order to be able to lose weight, you have to, in a lot of cases, exercise and be on some sort of diet, and being able to control what you eat and what you put into your body, and all that kind of thing. But one of the things that people seem to misrepresent in terms of just gadgets in general is that how do we know that the question is, how do we know that the fat stays off, or the excess weight that you have stays off after using BionicGym? And I think that's the major difference between us and all the other products that are somewhat out there, and all the quick solutions that are out there, is that we actually are an exercise device. So if you exercise and you get rid of the excess weight that you have, there's room to maintain. You maintain your exercise, and what that helps you do is also you begin to keep the weight off, because you're now on an upward trend of just maintaining exercise. While the other quick solutions, should I say, they just do a hit, and then when you stop doing those, or it just comes back then. So it's a little bit difficult to measure the two. Whereas we're a strictly cardio exercise device, so we certainly are able to help you keep the exercise, keep the extra weight off. So I just wanted to answer that question specifically. If you have any issues with that, please, if I didn't answer that clearly enough for you, do let me know. But general idea is that we are an exercise device, and we're certainly able to give you the cardio exercise that you need. And it has to stay off because you're actually putting in the work. There's no substitution for the work. BionicGym just makes it a lot more convenient for you to do that. So I hope that was able to answer that specific question. And then which leads me on to question two. Most importantly, and it's been from being around with you guys in the community for the last little while. Another popular question that came up was, why are people not enjoying perhaps the pro workouts as much? Why are they a lot tougher? So there's something that we call here at BionicGym, get acclimated to using the product, just because the body is not used to this kind of sensation, and it's certainly not used to this kind of exercise. So what we want to do is get your body used to it. And that's why we've got some beginner programs that are like start here, because that's kind of how you get used to Bionic Gym and how your body gets used to this new form of exercise. So once we're able to get that, then all of a sudden, it's so much more easier to be able to, try different types of workouts once your body's acclimated to how this product actually works. So you must acclimate first. And the reason that perhaps the pro workouts may be a lot more, maybe a little bit uncomfortable for certain people is because they actually haven't gone through the steps. So if you go through the steps, it's a lot easier to then be able to get the most out of the pro workouts when it's time, when it'll happen in due time as well. So I wouldn't worry too much about, not being able to sweat straight away, or not being able to lose the weight you think you lose in the space of a week, or get the performance that you think you do want to have. But these things just take time. Go through the steps. Don't try to cheat it, but also push yourself. That's usually the only way that you're going to get the most out of this product. So I hope I was able to answer that as well. And so if you have any further questions, feel free to put them out. And then, I'll answer the third question that I have pre-coming here. And then hopefully we can get into more questions with you guys. And please feel free to ask the questions in the comment section. The team are there. They're able to help you. There's a whole host of us on live today. Dr. Louis is also watching as well. And, certain people are saying hello. Hi, Emma. Nice to have you here as well. And I'll get into your Sherry. Nice to have you here. I'll get into your question shortly. Also, Sherry. So I'll just answer the last question as well that I had coming into this live. And the question was, how do we know when our electrodes are wearing out? And there's a whole host of different reasons why. There's a whole host of different ways to tell how your electrodes are wearing out. One of them is that they're just not sticky anymore. And I think that's probably the most obvious one. And that does depend on how much you actually use it. If you use it for hours and hours, days, and you've used this for a number of sessions, then you begin to notice that they're a little bit less sticky. And when they're less sticky, they probably won't sit as comfortably as you'd like them, because they might just slide off or whatever. So it's a good indication that you need to replace your electrodes. And we have a beautiful policy in terms of we want you to replace your electrodes. They're good for about 30 usage. Depending on, it does depend on how much you sweat though as a person. I found out that some people who don't sweat as much while using BionicGym may be able to get maybe an extra 10% longer from the electrodes, while others who sweat significantly more are getting significantly less time from the electrodes. So it does depend on the body, but push yourself. And if you have any issues, always feel free to reach out to our support team. They're on 24/7. There's also phone support as well. So we're more than happy to help you out with any questions that you may have. As you can probably tell, I'm panting a lot more than I normally will, and I'm talking a little bit faster. So it means that obviously, I'm beginning to feel the effects of using BionicGym. I'm shaking here, as you can see. I will just show you this as well to make sure you can certainly see what's going on here. So that's me on the BionicGym, and I also show you what my heart rate is at. I'm also on level 28 on Twinkle Toes, and my heart rate is saying that I'm on about 109 beats per minute. That should go up, it's 106 now. That should go up significantly as I begin to increase the workout. So I will go and take questions from this now, but if you're joining us only recently, hi, welcome. We're very happy to have you here. It's another BionicGym Live. We've got the entire team watching and being able to help you answer questions. Dr. Louis Crow is also in the audience, and so I'll take a question from Sherry now, but if you're new, if you're just joining us in the last few minutes, please feel free to let us know where you're listening to us live from. We're more than happy to have you here. We're also live. We're live on Facebook. We're live on YouTube, and we're also live on Twitter. So I'll get to your question now, Sherry. What is a common strength of pro exercise for an acclimated person? What is a common strength? In terms of what's a common strength for pro exercise for an acclimated person? I think for the most part, if I'm getting your question correctly, it's more about stability and being able to push your body. But I think being able to experiment with different parts of your body as well. I know that BionicGym is attached to your thigh muscles, which is the biggest muscle group that you have in your body for the most part. And so when you're acclimated, we can perhaps bring in slightly different muscle fibers that are attached to your thigh. Sometimes we bring in the glutes, sometimes we bring in the calves, and sometimes we just, we bring in the glute calves, and in other instances we may just bring in your thigh muscles as well. So the front part of it rather. So sorry, I just had to breathe there. So that's when you're acclimated, it's easy to get a better workout when we can, test out different things. And sometimes people find that it's a lot easier to do, to be able to be in different positions with different workouts. But once they're acclimated, they're able to get almost the same, if not better, benefits because it just works a little bit better. And there's also something that I wanted to share about. There's a lot of people who in our female community, especially on Facebook, who love Twinkle Toes, but there's a small percentage of them that are not getting as much joy out of it, and that's going back to them not properly being acclimated from the beginner program. So we certainly always encourage that you try that as best as you can and try to follow the steps. If you have any questions, reach out to people in the community. They're more than happy to help you. But also reach out to our customer support team as well. They're there 24/7, and they also have phone support now, which we're very happy to hear. So I'll take more questions shortly. But like I said, if you're just joining us recently, thank you for joining. Thank you for taking time out of your busy Sunday. It's about 7 p.m. here in Dublin. I know at New York it's only about 2 p.m. in the afternoon, so it's right in the middle of your day. So I appreciate you taking the time. And then also, if you're maybe in the West Coast, it's about like 11 a.m., 11 a.m., which is also a pretty big deal on a Sunday as well. So we do thank you for that. So I'm looking forward to more questions. Please feel free to put them below. Don't be shy. The team more than happy to help you out. And it's good to see a lot of our team members also watching and saying hello. Lynn Kangi, Linnell, that's my mistake. Linnell Kangi. I'll get you a question shortly, but I just thought I'd say hello to everyone who's just recently joined us. I see that people join us from different platforms as well, and it's we can see the viewership is certainly increasing. So just hello, thank you for joining us, and I hope we can answer any questions. And please, if you have any doubts, please do let us know. I will go back to showing you what my heart rate is in a minute. We're slowly but surely climbing up that fat burning. We're slowly but surely climbing up that fat burning zone. And if I'm speaking too fast, please do let us. Please do let me know, and I'll try to slow down. It's the exercise that's getting me very, very excited and speaking very fast. Linnell asks, I'll get to Linnell's questions now. Linnell asks, will it be on sale on Black Friday? We should have some Black Friday offers coming up at the moment, but for the most part, I think that for right now, we're in a unique situation. It's more about how much stock do we have? We see that we're making where there's a lot more people joining our communities a lot quicker, a lot more quicker than they would have maybe over the years. We're getting new members and new users on a daily basis. So it really is about stock levels for us. But feel free to reach out to support today, see what the best deal is they've got going on the sales side of things. And I'm more than certain that we'll have some sort of Black Friday offer available. And that's I've little to no doubt about that. But it's a matter of demand and supply. We're running low on stock coming up to Christmas. So, and also with everyone wants to lose their everyone wants to join a particular perhaps the Thanksgiving feast. After Thanksgiving feast, everyone likes to use the BionicGym, so people are already getting involved with buying, with purchasing theirs, and getting prepared for that. So feel free to reach out to support to find out. And Angel Lopez, please send to Mexico. I think as far as I know, we do ship to Mexico. We don't actually have a shipping facility inside Mexico itself, but we know that we ship directly from the USA to Mexico in the past, but I'm not sure what that is right now. Please do feel free to reach out to support and see exactly what the situation is with that, and they'll be able to answer your questions. I know done in the past. I know that we don't have a facility inside Mexico, but we should certainly be able to figure out something for you. But please feel free to reach out to support if you have any specific questions about that. I will go to my heart rate now and tell you exactly what's going on. I did increase the intensity to 31. And what that means is I'm panting a little bit faster, I'm panting a lot more than I normally would. And my heart rate is at 128 beats per minute. And oh no, my Apple Watch stopped telling me what my heart rate beats per minute is, because I haven't looked at that in a couple of minutes, but it's 130 on my phone. And apologies, it's 126 107 on my phone and it's 125 on my watch. So they're somewhat accurate to an extent, just depending on how many seconds it takes or how many nanoseconds or milliseconds it takes to actually measure the heart rate. So Sherry Roy has a question again. Thanks for asking these questions. May I ask the average calorie burn per hour if you get your heart rate into its target zone? So, Sherry, that's a great question. It does depend on who you are and I guess how many calories you've got to burn yourself and how many calories you have inside you in terms of what you've eaten and what your BMI is. But we don't need to get too complicated into that because everybody's different. I try to burn the best part of I'll see how many calories I burn by the end of this entire session. But for the most part, I do burn the best part of 600 to 800 an hour while doing these lives for the best part of an hour. But, on a normal day when I'm exercising, I everybody uses BionicGym a little bit differently. I think a lot of people like to multitask while using BionicGym, and for the most part, so do I. However, in terms of multitasking, a lot of people like to use BionicGym while they work, perhaps on their laptop. And that's why you find a lot of people in the community love glucose gobblers because they're able to, use that as they work at the same time because it works better on low intensities with at longer periods of time. Some people work for hours at a time. For me, it's a little bit different. I don't particularly enjoy working and using BionicGym at the same time because I kind of like dedicate time to exercise. So what I do is I would schedule time to exercise as my top priority, and I may get to watch Netflix at the same time because I just can't watch Netflix without BionicGym or do one or the other. So it's kind of like my way to escape, but also I'm getting exercise at the same time. That being said, BionicGym is pretty much the dominant cardio that I do as a person. So I do lift in the gym, but my only cardio is strictly from BionicGym. And sometimes I play soccer with my friends, but BionicGym is what kind of like keeps me at that elite level. I can burn the best part of. I get my heart rate up to maybe like 196 beats per minute. While using BionicGym at the height of it, I'm sweating, and it's just an intense workout. Like I've just finished an intense spin class, and there's no better feeling some days than just feeling like you just finished. You just been beaten up by a personal trainer in a spin class. So that's exactly the feeling that you get. You also get the pleasurable DOMs, delayed onset muscle. So you also feel those as well. You feel the pain the next day, and sometimes you're unable to walk up the stairs. It depends on what muscle fibers you incorporate on the day. So there's all those benefits as well that do happen while we use BionicGym. So they're just as important as ever, and they're almost as they're effective as being in the gym doing cardio yourself. One of the beautiful things about this is you can actually travel with BionicGym. I know there's been a lot of since COVID kind of is the lockdown is certainly easing. We have a lot of team members traveling, meeting their teams for the first time, which is pretty cool. And so they're traveling with BionicGym as well, and they find that a lot of them aren't as interested in say hotel gyms as much because they've got BionicGym in their backpack and it's kind of like a little secret weapon. So yeah, that's a little cheeky answer for you. So I think hopefully we don't make the hotel gyms uncomfortable, but we seem to be doing wonders now, seeing the fact that you might have to schedule an appointment to use the gym in hotels and stuff like that now while you travel, but BionicGym is always in your backpack. So that is a good problem to have. That's innovation at its finest. Sherry does ask another question. Do you prefer standing while using it to sitting? Sherry, I personally do. But I'd probably be the only person in the office who generally prefers this because I just dedicate the hour to workout because I just love the hour, and I think that there's no better thing that I could be doing that's more important than exercising because I need that hit, and I need that fix, for lack of a better way to put it. So I stand, and then once I'm done. That's my exercise done, and I get on with the rest of my day, or get on with the rest of my tasks. While some people in the office, Dr. Crow is for example, who sits beside me and has been for many years. He kind of just like slowly but surely, uses it over time, over the hours. He gets the calories in, and he gets his workout in, and he feels good after. Some of the signs of exercise is just some of the signs of a successful exercise session, should I say, is just being pure hungry, and you can certainly see the amount of food that's eaten in the office after a day of people using BionicGym is usually a lot significant than days that they don't. So you can clearly see that there's massive effects there. And of course, we do a lot of testing in the office as well. So sometimes we use it for long periods of time, but perhaps not for workouts, but just literally for testing. So I do prefer standing because I feel it's a little bit more effective, but it also does help with the entire blood flow and circulation through the entire body. So that's why I personally use it. But if you're using specific workouts that may be beneficial for you while sitting, or you don't have the time, maybe bang in the middle of the day, or it may not be convenient to do a workout while standing, then I strongly suggest sitting, because it's better to sit than to not do it at all. But ultimately, I always believe that it's better to stand. And one of our motto here is certainly that, the more people exercise, the fitter they are, fitter they'll be, the happier they'll be as well, which is kind of like one of the things that we kind of strive for in the world. So as you can see, I'm panting a little bit more. I haven't increased the intensity in the last few minutes anyway, but I'm now at about 138 beats per minute on both platforms that I'm checking. Oh, my bad. To show you here, 138, and here as well. So I'm going to increase the intensity now, just to get some sweat going, and also be able to give you guys time to think of more questions or anything specifically you want to ask me. We've got about 20 minutes left on this, and trust me, if there's more questions, I'll gladly keep going. Anybody who's just joined us recently, thank you for taking time out of your busy Sunday to join us in this live. Please feel free to tell us where you're listening to us from. And if you can, also share it amongst your friends as well. I know that one of the beautiful things about our community is that a lot of friends just keep inviting their friends, and we're getting new members with newer perspectives, newer needs as well to what BionicGym can do for them. And also, it's been recommended highly by some doctors in our community as well, which I find very, very fascinating. So we're learning a lot about you, and just as much as you're learning a lot about us as well. So I am going to increase the intensity. I'm currently on intensity 31. I'm going to increase it to 35. It doesn't seem like a lot, but I can certainly feel it. You can probably hear it as I speak as well. So I'll show you my heart rate in a couple of minutes, and you should begin to see the sweat dripping down right now. And I do have somebody shared this with me, saying that they get a lot more out of BionicGym when they actually take a pre-workout beforehand. And I mean, I don't see the reason why they shouldn't. Pre-workout is kind of certainly there to give you the extra boost that you need, especially when you may not feel like working out. So it does seem like a very good combination. I would highly recommend it. I don't specifically take pre-workout, but for the most part, before I work out, I tend to have a coffee, an espresso, an Americano, and that seems to do the wonders. So I'm all for that. So feel free to experiment with that and do that also. Now, I did increase the intensity just recently, and I'm about 147 beats per minute. Here's 144, but I'm sure that'll catch up shortly. So we're taking it up a level. I'll increase the intensity again, just so we can get some real sweat going, and also be able to answer questions as they pop up. So feel free to ask questions. And if you haven't already, let us know exactly where you're listening to us from. And again, once again, thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy day to join this live. And again, if you're following us or listening to us from a specific social media platform, we're live on YouTube right now. We're live on Twitter, and we're also live on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. If you want to learn more about different communities, please feel free to join the ones that suits you. We aim to meet you where you're at. But also, there's a mini Reddit community growing at the moment, and so if you have any questions, feel free to pop in there. I know that some people love Reddit just because there's anonymity. So please, if you have questions, do join us there. Ask questions. We're able to direct you to live demos as well, and be able to find other people in the community who are certainly somewhat feeling the same thing as you, have the same questions, and be able to somewhat answer you as well. So yeah, I think that's it for the most part. I think we'll have to get Dr. Crow doing one of these shortly, because he's missed by me especially. But I think the next one will be around Thanksgiving as well. Thanksgiving for Americans. So we'll be looking forward to that as well. And there's some challenges that are going to be coming up. I said this the last time. We've launched a couple. We've launched one with pilot members. and we're seeing some results in there. But obviously, it's the first time we're doing something in this massive scale. I know I say pilot members, but it's still massive to us. And so we're seeing some benefits from that, having some minor teething issues, but we're certainly working on improving the process so we can kind of, roll it out to the wider community. So yeah, good on you there. Laisha Quintero did comment and says she finds it very helpful with stress relief too. Yes, I think, thank you for that tip, Laisha. I think one of the things that I know as a human is it's impossible for me to be fully functional without exercising. And right now it's, I'm in Dublin at the moment, it's dark. And so I may not be as enthusiastic to go to the gym this time of the night, but hey, I can get a workout, and the best part of 45 an hour-minute workout, and get to chat to our community. So I guess I get to kill a few birds with one stone. I know there's dozens of people online right now using the platform, exercising. So join them, ask them questions in all the forums, wherever you're at. If you're on Facebook, they'll meet you there. If you're on Reddit, if you're on Twitter, if you're on YouTube, we certainly will be able to answer questions. So I think that's kind of like what's going on with us. In terms of our next rollouts, we'll be looking at an app refresh shortly. Be able to get you, perhaps looking at your workouts, looking at how much time you've put into workouts, so you're able to track it yourself, and working with other things as well. David Menace asks, how did the radiation from the wireless device affects your body? That's a very good question, David. Thanks for asking that. As far as we know from our research and our studies, there's zero effects on your body. I think there's some more hidden benefits than we initially imagined. I think your legs certainly are the first things. Your thigh muscles certainly are the first things to get toned. I think that's kind of one of the hidden benefits of this. In terms of radiation, there's no indication to suggest that there's anything about that. And we've thoroughly studied this as well over the last while. And for the most part, Dr. Crow has been working on this for 2 decades. So there's little ambiguity there. So feel free to pop in the support. Ask many more questions if you've got any more of that, or if I can help you with anything else, certainly do let me know. In terms of beats per minute, I'm now, I've passed the fat burning zone. Some of you can see the sweat beginning to creep up around my body. I'm on 160 beats per minute with my Polar H10 heart rate monitor, and I'm about 156 beats per minute on my Apple Watch. So they're somewhat consistent. It's good to see that there's no way to really cheat the real exercise that you're getting. I will kind of like perhaps lift the intensity up a little bit to about 40. We're in the mid 30s the whole time, so I'm now on intensity 40. It's got tougher. I find it a little bit harder now to maybe read properly because I'm a little bit shaky, and perhaps my screen is a little bit too small. Perhaps the writing on my screen is rather a little bit too small, but I'm loving it. And you just see my heart rate just beginning to creep up as I'm getting more exercise, and slowly but surely you see the sweat dropping. And just in the top right-hand corner there, you certainly see that I burned about 277 calories in the last 30 minutes that I've been doing this as well. I mean, I can certainly get to about 600 calories within the hour if we do this and at this intensity. So so there's a whole host of benefits there. I might lower this down in a couple of minutes because I am really feeling the heat, and the sweat is dropping. So yeah, the support team are certainly on their responses today, certainly helping you with any issues you may have directly also. So please feel free to ask me any more questions, any tips, anything that has worked for you as a user as well, because these are for you. We want to learn more from you as well. Any things that you do specifically that you feel works for you that we may not speak about, I'd love to know more. And if you're always inquiring about BionicGym, and if you have any specific questions, my suggestion always would be to speak to your medical doctor first. We always recommend that. And then if there are no major issues, your medical doctor gives you the all clear, feel free to get on board. But please always start with the beginner programs as well, because that's a way for your body to get acclimated as well. and getting used to the product. And also then we can begin to experiment. And, for the most part, not a lot of people love the weight loss part of this, and that's all great, but there's a whole host of hidden benefits to using BionicGym as well. Myself as a top, semi-pro athlete, I love it. It helps me, keeps me in shape, especially in off season, because, everyone else will be on holidays, all year round. I'm pretty much as good as I can ever be because, I'm constantly working out because, by design, I'm going to have to be using the product anyway for testing and for experimenting. But, it's just lovely to see that I can be the same all year round. I don't know if you guys can see the sweat. It is dripping. I can feel it around my body. And I have a larger t-shirt on today than normal, just so we can start to see the sweat as it drops. But yes, I'm more than happy to answer any questions or hear any tips, or certainly anything else that may be on your mind, or any new things that you figured out from using BionicGym. It's been quite the journey. And for anyone who's joined us in the last few minutes, we've been on for the best part of over 35 minutes. Thank you for being a part of our community. Thank you for taking the time to certainly watch our video on a busy Sunday. We more than appreciate it. We appreciate it more than you know. Thank you. And please feel free to reach out support if you've got any issues, any questions. And if you feel like asking them here, also feel free to do that, because, it's always fun to get to answer your questions live. In the meantime, I will show you my heart rate because, I'm 168, 69 beats per minute. And, you can see the calories kind of just like, skyrocketing up as well, because I'm at a very nice, I've well past my fat burning zone. It's just at this stage, I'm really just cutting, straight through and getting as much exercise as I possibly can. But I think if there are no further questions, we've got about 8 minutes in our regular scheduled time. This was meant to run for 45 minutes to an hour, but hey, if the questions pop up, I'll keep going. But I do have a question from Valerie. So Valerie does ask, Valerie, nice for you to be here. Do appreciate you taking the time to ask the question as well. Do you recommend using it while doing housework? Valerie, the beautiful thing about BionicGym is we try to meet you where you're at. And if you'd like to multitask and you feel that, you can use BionicGym while doing housework, depending on exactly what it is, then more than welcome, because, when you use BionicGym doing the housework, it's better than not using BionicGym at all in terms of not doing any exercise. We do find out that a vast majority of our members of the community, the female community on Facebook, do this while they're use this while they're doing their housework to maximize their calorie burn and to maximize their time, and to also multitask. So you can feel free to join them on the Facebook community, by the way. They'd be more than happy to have you there. But the short answer is yes, I recommend it. I recommend doing any sort of exercise more than you normally would. Every little thing will help you. 10 minutes of exercise is always better than no minute of exercise. And certainly doing BionicGym, doing your housework is so much better than just doing your housework on its own. So I'm a big advocate for exercise, as you probably know, as probably can tell. And that's why we're here in the market. So I want to meet you where you're at in terms of, how do we not intrude in your life? How do we support you in terms of what you already do? So that's what we're about. Feel free to give some feedback, Valerie, when you join the group. And when you've got asked questions, some lovely, lovely, lovely people in that group. Denise, who is probably, hiding in the audience today, who hasn't said anything, but I know she's always there. And also Tressa, who's been a revelation. We've been working together. We're getting some tests, some pilot tests with some groups of people who are trying to run some tests and seeing exactly how effective their schedule is with BionicGym. And things have been going pretty well, and we're learning so much. And the more people in the group, the more variety, the more diverse the questions get to be. And it just means that we wake up in the morning and have new challenges to beat as a company, and that's kind of why we get up in the morning. So we'd love for you to join us and ask more questions and help us push the boundaries. Jody Gear asked the question: Is the product painful to use? Jody, that's an excellent question. Believe it or not, the product is not painful to use at all. It is different, I'll give you that, but I think one thing we certainly encourage is to use the beginner programs, because it's quite a different sensation, especially for those who maybe are not familiar with EMS technology. on your body. So we certainly recommend that you try the beginner programs. But as far as I'm concerned, there's nobody that has reported pain in terms of using the product. There's been some good pain in terms of DOMs, and just some of the other pains you feel from maybe after doing vigorous involuntary exercise. But other than that, there's nothing to report there in terms of pain. So you guys can probably see, you can still see the sweat is dropping. I will go to my heart rate. I'm at 174 beats per minute. And if we kept this up and also look at the calories burnt, just under 400, it should go up to 401 or 402 right now. And you can certainly see that, this is real exercise for 401 calories burned in the last 40 minutes. The first few minutes, not a whole lot of calories were being burnt, but as we got into the swing of things, things just became beautiful, and exercise became a joy, and it was just got to kill a few birds with one stone. So it's somewhat good. I'm at 176 beats per minute right now. I'm gonna try to get to as close to 180 as I possibly can, or even higher. I know the highest I've ever got, while not trying to converse or do any multitasking, it's been about 192, 198 once, but that was at the height of maybe my season in terms of playing sports at all, playing sports in general. So, really happy that we got to do this. I can see we're just about running out of time, but listen, if there's anything I missed, and if there's anything you want to ask, please reach out to our support team. But also feel free to reach out to us in any of the platforms that suits you, and we're more than happy to assist you in any way, shape, or form. But also, if you prefer just talking to somebody over the phone, please reach out to our support team, and they'll be more than happy to assist you also. I'm going to turn this down just because you can see the sweat dripping out of my body, and it's kind of nice to take it easy a little for the last few minutes because I need to just wind it down here. But yes, it's good to have you all here. Thank you for taking the time again to join us on the live. We really do appreciate it. You've been a revelation to us as we've been growing as a company as well. Like I say, feel free to reach out to us anytime if you have any issues whatsoever. And I hope I was able to answer all the questions you may have had. If you have more, don't be shy, ask us questions. Feel free to ask us questions again. If you do decide to perhaps re-watch the live again, it's going to be left on our Facebook page at the very least. So I know you don't have to be logged in or have a Facebook account to be able to see that at the very least. So please feel free to do so. It's also live. It'll also be available on our Twitter page, perhaps on our YouTube as well. So feel free to reach out to us wherever, and join our communities, learn a little bit more about the product. Let's learn more about you and how you like to exercise as perhaps a modern day, tech infested world person, because everything is about how can we measure, how can we be successful in terms of knowing what we do in terms of exercising. So we want to be able to help you meet that as well. Let us know what your challenges are. We'll work something out for you. And I'm going to just drop this all the way down. As you can see, I'm decreasing the intensity. I'm on intensity 28 now. I spend the majority of that on about 42. And I can now, I sound like I'm conversing now, and I don't sound like I'm panting too much. And that's just the beauty of this. My heart rate is 163. As I lowered the intensity, you see that's going to drop as well. But the calorie burn for the best part of 40 minutes, 43 minutes has been 456. I believe you can get up to 700, 800 calories per hour if you're warmed up, if you go through the pre-workouts, if you've obviously gone through the pre-programs as well, and just to acclimate the body. So feel free to check that out. And Gregory Buttocks asks a question. I believe Gregory is on YouTube. He asked a question. Gregory, hi, nice to have you. I think this is our first question from YouTube as well. Please feel free to ask a question. You're on live. Great to have you. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to ask us a question. If you also have time, please tell us where you're writing to us from. I'm more than happy to go over time to answer this question as well. So glad you got in here right on time. So go ahead and ask us a question, Gregory. And in the meantime, if there's anything you guys are looking for, the support team have been very kind to drop us all the groups here. There's a lot of groups on Facebook. Depending on who you are, what you're trying to achieve, we're going to be more than able to help you achieve that for the most part. Depending on what your exercise background is, or regardless of what it is that you do. And it's also not just, it just doesn't, obviously we're an exercise device. We're strictly promoted as a cardio device. There's a lot of benefits. We're not just, it's just not just in terms of weight loss. There's the weight loss aspect of it. There's the, I just want to get my workout in aspect of it. And it is just like, I need to be as fit as I can aspect of it. And there's people like me sometimes who just want that extra 1%. So during the off season, you're just as sharp as majority of people who are on holidays when you're playing sport or when you're performing. And, there's some people who have written to us in the last while say, using BionicGym just makes them feel good. And personally, that's probably one of the better ones. Say they just feel good using BionicGym. It helps with their mental health. It helps with them just being functional as a person. And so I think that for us, that's good. That's why we wake up in the morning. We want to do a lot more of that. So feel free to reach out to us. Feel free to ask us questions. Gregory, wait a couple of minutes for the question here. Please don't be shy to ask it. And, we're more than able to answer your question. And for those, I see there's a lot of people who are joining us recently as well. For those of you who are just joining us now, thank you. This is a BionicGym Live Q&A. These are for you to answer your questions. And obviously I did a live demo. You can see me sweating. The replay will be available on all the social platforms as well. And please, thank you for taking time out of your Sunday too. I really do appreciate it. I know that, it's different time zones around the world, and, we try to pick one that fits as many people as possible. So, if there's any time that you guys suggest as well, in terms of, maybe some coaching sessions, maybe a smaller group with one of our, BionicGym experts / mentors, please feel free to do so as well. The support team will be able to guide you through that. And yeah, I think that's all. Gregory, what I'll do is we've got to end the live right now. I wish you were able to ask the questions. I'll give it a couple more minutes anyway. But if you dump the questions anyway on the YouTube channel, I'll be able to answer it regardless of, we'll get someone on our team, or even I may answer it myself regardless of when you do get to ask the questions. Oh, you just dropped. Thinking of Gregory, thanks for dropping that on. Actually, I think I may have put too much pressure on you there, but thank you, I appreciate it. Gregory says, thinking of getting the BionicGym. I'm trying to lose weight to look more like Michael Jackson. Would the BionicGym help in achieving my goals? I convince my neighbors that I am the rebirth of MJ. Well, I think, Gregory, whatever reasons you would like to get BionicGym, I think as long as you are dedicated to actually using it as an exercise device that will get you what you need, it will most certainly work. You have to put the time into it as well, because it's not just magic. You have to schedule time to use the product. We try to meet you where you're at in case you're too busy to go to the gym or wherever. So whatever your primary reason is, I'm here for it. Use it. It will get you for the most part what you need if you dedicate the time, and also dedicate some resources into finding out a little bit more about what you're trying to achieve. And it might mean, perhaps changing some of your dietary plans as well. But that's all for you to decide how you want to. But we know that it certainly will help you achieve those. But I think that's all we've got for today. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask our support team, or please feel free to keep commenting, even post the live, and we'll be able to get back to you as soon as we relatively can. As you can see, I'm sweating. I've got my good workout in, and I think I'm ready to call it a day. But again, thank you guys for taking the time to do this with me. I really do appreciate it. The rest of the team say hello, and they've been here the whole time, watching as well. So without any further questions, it's goodbye from us, and I really do hope to speak to you guys soon. Bye-bye.